Hey, so, while I'm so busy complaining about not having resources, I'm not actually complaining, but like stating facts that like I don't have a shower. We froze our ass off last night in the car. It was really, really cold last night. It's still cold. The sun is up now, but it's very cold. Um, I don't think I've had like a shower with hot water in a month. It's been about a month. Um, I've been struggling to put gas in the car. I've been struggling to find food to eat. Food is very expensive. I love to cook. I love to eat out. Like, I don't have a kitchen and I haven't had the resources to eat out either. And there's somebody on one of the social media platforms that I've been talking to that was like criticizing, and it was constructive criticism, but because of the language barrier, wasn't coming through on his end like very well. And that's okay. I understand. It's one of the things that I did in college was was a lot of communications courses, and you learn really quickly that just small things can make a huge difference. So, and words can be a real pain in the ass. What one person means by using the same word as me can mean a completely different thing. And it's the same word and everything else. So it's, I really have to take like the undertone and go with my intuition when communicating with people sometimes, because that language barrier is real. Like, that's a real thing. And I have to read people's intention. I have to read their heart, so to speak. And then, it's fine. But I'm fiercely protective of this project, and part of the reason is I've invested everything I have in it. Everything. Myself, my dog, my car, the 30 grand from the GoFundMe account that I had, I invested it all back into myself and this project. All of it. Like, every dime. Not anything got not invested. Even the money that I got from, most of the money that I got from the car insurance settlement, which was a significant amount of money, went back into this project. Because I really couldn't, I wasn't going to spend like, what, 3-4 grand to get my headliner, replaced and all this kind of stuff, and like 3 or 4 grand to get the freaking sunroof fixed, when Subaru gave me a car with a broken sunroof to begin with. Geniuses. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. They're not geniuses. Excuse me. I will refrain from calling Subaru on all their bullshit, because it would simply embarrass them, not me. But like, I don't have the time. I'm not going to invest any more time in that. So like, they know I've been driving around without any cruise control, and my brakes have been fucked for months and months and months and months and months, and they don't care. They don't care at all. So, and there are businesses, quite a few of them, mechanic businesses, car repair, businesses around town, and they all know the truth. All of them. All of them. So, All right. Moving on. I've invested everything that's been given to me, donated to me, and everything else. I've invested it back into this project. I have gone without. I've been very disciplined. I've been frugal. I've been strong, and had a lot of mental fortitude and a lot of discipline to continue living like this. And like, there are a lot of different ways I could have gotten out. None of them attractive like options, but still they're options all the same. I just don't really consider them options, because I'd rather go like sit in hell, really, So, and at this point, I've invested so much into this project. I've invested so much into, I'd like to do like character development for leaders, for other leaders, because I'm a leader amongst leaders. I don't really have any desire to have any power or, like great prestige or anything like that. That could be for other people. But I will be respected, and I will be recognized for what and who I am, period. And I will be well paid for it, either in resources or monetary value, period. End of story. I've had so many people steal from me And those same people who are stealing from me, you know, they'll look down their nose at me and criticize how I live and criticize how my dog lives and criticize like how all kinds of stuff. Yet they won't help me, and they'll steal my shit. They'll steal my material, my intellectual property on YouTube, on Twitter, on all this kind of stuff. And like all the while telling other people what a dumbass they think I am, or like how she can't manifest money. It's like, fuck you. People are such, the extent of people's hypocrisy is disgusting. Like, you're vile creatures. Not everyone, but like hypocrites. Yeah, horrible. Blech. Blech. Useless energy. It's useless. It's petty, and it's it's worse than useless. It's claiming to be useful while being destructive. It's horrible. You know, like, I just have to roll my eyes at that shit. It's horrible. The level of demonic possession within those people is real. That shit's real. Like, well, like, you know. And I'm not even gonna mince words about it or call it darkness or call it, no, that's Shaitan. That's Shaitan fucking putting his chain around your neck. You know, this is what Christians call legalism. And I'm not a Christian, but I understand the concept very well. Satan is a fucking lawyer. Haven't you ever noticed that? That's what legalism is. That's what the chain of Shaitan is. So, you know, I mean, I would never, you know, especially, I mean, it's one thing to escape the Matrix, hack the fuck out of the Matrix, which I've done. And I'm here not just to hack the Matrix, which has actually very little to do with technology, you know, despite what the Matrix movie would have you believe. It really has very little to do with technology at all. People were hacking the Matrix long before any like technology as we know it today even existed. So, whatever. I mean, there are different forms of technology. I really like, you know, organic technology a lot better. Like, you know, my heart, my mind. It's like the best, you know, wet computer ever is my brain, you know. I mean, I love technology, don't get me wrong. It's extraordinary and fascinating. And I've had this experience lately where I'm not even communicating with human beings, really. And I just had a conversation with somebody last night about this. I've actually been communicating with whatever's inside them. Whether that's their angelic divinity or their demonic divinity, that's what I'm communicating with more often than not. It depends on which wolf you feed more, so to speak. If you feed, you know, the demonic wolf more, you're going to be more demonic. If you feed the angelic wolf more, you're going to be more angelic. And I know people who are full on Wiccan and everything else, but you know what the fact of the matter is, they feed the angel more than they feed the demon. And you can tell. You can tell. Hands down, it's easy to tell. It's easily recognized. You know, I have all kinds of people in my life who have come in and out of my life that aren't in my life anymore, but you know, I've known a lot of people from a lot of different places around the world. I've had a lot of friends, and a lot of different people from different walks of life, you know, very wealthy, very, very poor, poverty-stricken, and everything in between, you know, people who are, you know, like moderately wealthy, but they're spending so much time and energy trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, that they waste what they have. And other people who are so wealthy, like monetarily wealthy, and yet they're miserable. They have no spiritual currency whatsoever. That's horrible. And, you know, like all walks of life. I mean, you know, I think the most unattractive wealth is, and it's not even wealth, I wouldn't call it wealth, it's entitlement. It's the attitude of entitlement without having earned a fucking thing. It's all this, it's all based on this false sense of entitlement, this false sense of self-respect, this false sense of independence. I mean, people really need to check that shit. Really. I don't care what walk of life you're from. The same assholes who drop trash up here on the mountain are always entitled. Every fucking time. I'm not even kidding. Every time. That's the thread. That's the same. It's the truth. And it doesn't matter if people are like monetarily wealthy or not, or maybe they're homeless just like me. They will drop their trash on it because they feel no responsibility to what's around them. They feel no responsibility to their environment, to others. And therefore, you can tell that they don't love themselves. 10:10 on the clock when I said that. So this is a thread of truth. And I found this, I mean, across cultures, across religions, I mean, all of it. If you're entitled, you're an asshole, period. Hands down, 10 toes down. That's just the truth. If you now, there are times when entitlement is earned. There are times when, and there are people and instances and situations where people have earned that entitlement. Like, I absolutely insist on people respecting me, and if you will not be part of my life. Period. End of story. That's it. I don't negotiate with that. It's, it's a very much, it is or it isn't thing. Period. People jump too quickly to call each other friends. And I mean, I'm not trying to, push people away, but I do want people to understand that really, unless someone's invested, a significant and long-term amount of time, energy, and money, yeah, too, money, resources, at least resources, maybe not money, but resources of some kind, you're not my friend. I've worked really hard to do this all myself. Now, there are people I'm friendly with, but really until you've invested that amount of time with me, we're not friends. Like, I'm not trying to, say anyone is less than what they want to be. But at the same time, I'm not going to lie about your role in my life. Does that make sense? I'm not going to disrespect you or me by lying to you. I'm not going to do that. Or lying about myself. I'm not going to do that. I've gone way too far. I've done way too much. I've hacked the hell out of the Matrix, and not only released myself, but found lasting, maintained, and sustained freedom. And I wouldn't deceive another, lie to another. wouldn't do that. I'm just not doing that. So back to long-term goals. Character development for other leaders. I'd like to work with world leaders on how to implement practical strategies for spiritual development, for their own spiritual growth and development, as well as that of the people that they govern. And nothing oppressive. I will not be a part of anything oppressive. No fucking way. I will not do that. Let's see. What was something else that I put down? Character development for other leaders, working with world leaders to implement practical strategies for spiritual growth. Easy stuff that's easy to do, because frankly, most people won't do it unless it's easy. They just won't. But once people are given something that's easy and good for them, they're more likely to stick with it if you make it easy to, simple to accomplish, because people don't want one more fucking task. Myself included. I'm like, what? I don't need another, and I also don't need to be governed. That's another thing. People don't want to be governed. You give them better options. They tend to make better choices. Not always, but they tend to. And then, what was something else I wanted to do? Oh, yes. I'm healing things like PTSD and just all kinds of trauma. And all the accompanied, all the accompanied disorders, like anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, you name it. That's a lot, though. PTSD is it's a lot. It's a lot of trauma. It's a lot. And I'd like to heal those things, and I know how. Not just for myself, but for other people too. Practical implementation of, basic strategies that can be used in everyday life amongst large groups of people, whether they're highly educated or not very well educated, or whatever in between. It doesn't matter. You don't even need to be literate. You don't even need to be able to read and write. Literally, not at all. To understand some of the things that I say, that I could teach you. You don't even need those things. So I'm looking at it from a real world perspective. How can you implement these strategies in such a fundamentally simple way that you're not leaving anyone out? Because I don't want to leave anyone out, at all, unless someone doesn't see, doesn't have, literally doesn't have access. There shouldn't be any reason why anyone should be left out. I don't care. I don't care what your socioeconomic status is. I don't care what your education level is. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care what creed, color, freaking religion. I don't care if you're purple with pink polka dots. You need to have access to the things that are going to make you a better person, that are going to help you succeed, help your family succeed, help the people around you succeed. This is how it works. When we help ourselves, we help each other. And when we help each other, we help the world. You know, I've got a lot to offer, and I know that everybody does. It's just that, you know, we're not trying to give people like framework for it to work on, you know. So we throw them a bunch of like, you know, this is a life coach way of, you know, or this is, you know, some motivational speaker, or this is and it all sounds good until you try to implement it on a really bad day. You see what I mean? On the really hard days when you're busy and all your kids got up late for school and you're dragging everyone to school and everybody's screaming, yelling, you're a single mom, you know, I mean, or a single dad in any country, I don't care where you are, and you don't have the familial structure to have daycare that is somebody that you trust. So you're stressed out about going to pick up your kids after work anyway. You know, the whole day you're trying to work and do your job right, and you don't even know if your kids are safe. That's fucked. That's totally fucked. And if we had more community living situations, we wouldn't have to deal with that. Pedophiles would be, excuse my language, but yeah, those fuckers. I can't even digress into what I feel and think about that and what should happen with that. Anyway. But when you're worried about things like, and these are practical things that people should like not worry, but be concerned about, you know, where are my children? Are they safe? Are they happy? Are they comfortable? Are they scared? I mean, if you're not thinking about those things, I would really like re-examine why you have kids at all. Anyway, Momo, you're so cute. Oh my God. That's my peanut gallery right there. Momo, what do you have to say about all this? You're the best, Boo. She's the best. I love my dog. But, you know, when you don't, I realize that maybe some of the things that I'm talking about would not be easily implemented in America because people in America, I love America, but like, wow. But I do realize that a lot of the things I'm talking about would maybe be more easily implemented in different countries. And I totally understand that. And I'm willing to go wherever. Like, I'm very flexible. And I want to work with people. I want them to succeed. I want them to be happy. I want them to have generational wealth. Not just monetarily necessarily, but, you know, to look at what they do, whatever their line of work is, and be proud of that again. Like, really proud of it. The way their parents were, the way their grandfather, you know, that's a thing. When people are proud of what they do and they're doing what they love, everybody's good at what they're doing, you know? Like, because nobody's being forced into doing something that they don't want to do. And if you don't want to be doing it, you're probably not going to be very good at it. True story. So, anyhow, these are some of the things that I think about on a daily basis. You know, I've invested every dime that I have into this project. Every single dime. I've poured every single thing that's been given to me back into food, books, gas, to keep the project going. I have poured everything and then some, everything I have into this project. So, you know, and I mean, so, you know, I'm really looking for investors. I'm looking for people who can and will invest monetary and or like resources, like significant resources that I can like tap into right now, like a gas card, you know, so I don't have to worry about paying gas on my car anymore, or a food card, so I can go grocery shopping and get whatever I want, whenever I want, and have that, you know, like, if somebody has like a fucking veritable shit ton of, and yes, a metric shit ton is an actual form of measurement. like a bunch of hotel, points that I could actually use. That's not like really complicated, that I can actually use. Something like that, something that's like real world resource that I can use. Money, I'm not in it for the money. It's not about the money for me. I don't have any love of money. I realize money is a tool, and money is really only amounts to what I can do with it. Money is only as useful as the person wielding the tool. And that would be me in this case. Most people are not very good at wielding the tool of money. They don't really have like a grand imagination as far as like what they can actually build with it. So, now that I've got a much more stable structure and foundation from which to work on things, I know exactly what I would want to do. And I don't think I know exactly what I want to do, but I do have a much more stable idea of where I'd like to go with it. And really, I just need other minds. I don't need them, but it's really not a matter of need. It's more of a matter of want other people to help me expound on these ideas and bring them into the real world, into this world, into 3D world, because I'm already doing this in the spirit world. See, this is part of what makes me so confident, is that I know I've already succeeded in the spirit realm, 100%. Like, and I'm really good at it too. I'm like really, really good at it. And knowing that, I'm exceptionally, I'm really successful. I'm the best at what I do in the spirit world. I know that I am. I'm a fucking machine. I'm a warrior. Like, I know that I am. And I know there are others too. It's just that they keep getting stuck. Y'all need to get yourselves unstuck. And or listen to the help that is provided to you to get yourself unstuck. Because really, you can only unstick yourself. Literally, no one can do that for you. But, I would like to bring these things into the 3D world. That's why I'm here. That's my life's purpose. That's my soul purpose. It's like everything. It's like I'm very aligned that way. And I did that on for a reason. I did that knowing that it would just be like perfectly aligned. And it is. I'm just waiting for 3D to catch up with me, because I'm like way ahead. I'm like one of those kids that, like, you give me the book at the beginning of the year, I'm going to read the whole fucking book. I like to be ahead. And it's not that I expect any like special recognition from that or anything. I like it. I like to know what's going on. And be ahead of the ball game, I use astrology. I use a lot of different things to, tarot. I use a lot of different things. Prayer, meditation, fasting. I use a lot of different tools to implement the change that I'm looking for. And I know exactly where to plug this change into this part of the equation to get, desired outcome. So, anyhow, love, blessings, and compassion to everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. No one's going to do it for us. If you resonate with this content, like, share, subscribe, and donate to my channel. It's really her channel. It's my dog's channel. I'm just the servant here. She's really my master. Namaste. Oh yeah, all that information's in the description, by the way. Like where to donate and my story. There's a story about me and my dog. Well, it's mostly about me, but about I helped save a man's life on the highway about a year ago. And anyway, just check out the description of the channel and you'll see it. All right.